And then when I came in Indonesia, it was so open world and so again so much tourist, and it's everything about the five senses, how to make content and complete the five senses. And then I allowed myself and I realized that meditation actually it's everywhere. You just bring awareness wherever you do, and you come back to this awareness, and just your body can be moving, but still inside of you you are still. So that's how you find your own way of meditation. So even in the beginning it was, as I said, difficult to switch for me, and I was thinking that I need to follow the old way, the traditional way, as I was teach and makes, let's say, good benefit for me. I did find meditation in surfing. So surfing is a kind of meditation. For me, dancing is also meditation. It's just dissolving slowly the thoughts, and I'm coming to a state where really I'm connected with my center.
Son sales.
No sé si son sales, lo compré de Tailandia.
Porque en Joe Rogan también hacen eso de que huelen unas sales.
¿Dónde?
En el video que viste, el de Joe Rogan, pasa unos compañeros que mira, esas son las nuevas sales que tengo y vas a despertar demasiado.
De vez en cuando puede que los usa. Pues lo cogí así. Bueno, que sea espontáneo, que se me haga como sea, pues dale.
Vamos. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode on the Long with FVR. Today we have Maja. Thanks for doing this. So, there has been a lot of people that usually come around these places because, oh, it's a very nice area, tourist area, but other people also come here to do meditation. And here Bali has a lot of things to offer. What are you seeing?
I just came spontaneously. I started my journey in Indonesia. I arrived in Java, so I wasn't, let's say, so much attracted of it. And then slowly when I came to Bali, for the first moment that I entered in the country, seeing the difference of, let's say, the temples in their houses, it just made me so curious the way they live. After it, I slowly understand that they have like special type of Hindu, which makes them, like quite different than any other celebration in Hindu religion. So let's say Balinese people are praying for also the devils. So they pray for the good God, but also to the devils. And before you go to every temple, there is like two devils or demonios sitting like protecting the temple. So for me, came in the same moment in my like personal journey when I was trying to accept, let's say, my shadow. Because every time that we go to a journey, on transformation journey, growing journey, or even spiritual journey, we seek much more for the light. We do want, of course, to be connected more with peace, love, to see the, just let's say the good perception of it. But also the other point, you do have some moment when the shadow needs to be expressed. Let's say the darkness side, and you can allow yourself to just also feel that emotions, like sometimes can come anger, sadness, sorrow, and just I made realize on all of this journey that it's like there are two opposite, but actually there is not too much good and not too much bad. It's in the middle. Actually, these two things exist as we distinguish, and we have attachment to the mind. In other case, there is no black and white. So also for me it was special before coming in the central of Bali, which the place is called Ubud. I started my, let's say, healing with the water also spontaneously. I went to the north and I went to hot springs, and I over there started my meditation, and I stayed in these hot springs during like the whole day, doing my own meditation, my own healing, on the physical body, on the emotional body, on the mental body, and it just made me to come to certain balance. And after that, I realized that Ubud also, as his own place, has a lot of, let's say, beyond the city, there is a lot of volcanic water, and people use a lot of these holy places and holy water in their temples, in every of their prayers. Just they go to this kind of source or waterfalls or temples. They took their water and they use it for their pujas, which means prayers, and also for their special moments, for all of the healing of these kind of blockages, like energy stuck, or even they call it like black magic. So yeah, for sure Bali has something quite special. It's different Hindu religion that doesn't exist in any other part of the world. And also, as they say, when the missioners come before to find, let's say, this special place to establish the Hindu or some like big religion, first they arrive to Java, but then they say, no, the special place, it's exactly in Ubud, in this city, where two rivers are crossing in one point. So this point is still existing. It's like two rivers, even with different colors, are crossing each other and then coexisting and making one way. So yeah, I mean, you allow yourself naturally to come into this knowledge. So that's how I did in my journey, and yeah, I realized that Bali for sure has a special language.
This is quite fascinating, especially because there's so much information that comes and it's contrasted to what other people usually say, oh, Bali is only a beach. But hey, it has more than just sand and water.
Yes, I mean, you have everything. There is places also to entertain this kind of public, let's say, or tourists, that they are coming just for the beach, to have live music, fun, parties. I think that's more on the south. So for me, I spent some days over there surfing, which I love also, again, connection with the water and the waves, and just for me, it was kind of a meditation. And then also on the north, you have different attractions like going with dolphins or plankton, which also is quite touristic. The north is less than the south, but still, I think even it's a small island, it can offer a little bit of everything. And then Ubud is considered more, as I said, with locals, like their ceremonies. You can see their way of living. It's quite more spiritual, they consider it. Even before was more and more sacred and spiritual. People were coming for yoga, meditation, and just to have to enjoy and really to receive the energy of the city of Ubud. But it's true that nowadays it gets so much demand and an offer of all of these kind of spiritual also sessions or spiritual things offered or healing. So yeah, in some point it could be overwhelming in like tourist way or even everything that is offered, but still you can find your balance and enjoy it.
Now, people may see you and they may hear you from this podcast and they will realize, wait a second, this person is not from Indonesia. So, can you tell us a little more about yourself?
Well, latest, if you travel, people always ask you like this kind of question. So I just felt that when this question comes, I'm saying I am from the world, or I'm saying I'm from the Mother Earth, born from there, and then I'm going back to the Mother Earth. But yeah, originally I was born in the southeast part of Europe. It's called the Balkans. I was born in Macedonia, and then I was living in Spain for 4 years, and after that I just started my journey in Asia.
When you were in Spain, in which part? Because it was a kingdom many centuries ago. So it's like, were you in Catalonia? Were you in other places?
I was living in Mallorca, which before, I think, quite before it was part of the Kingdom of Catalonia.
Ah.
So yeah, I was more spending my time in Mallorca or sometimes in Catalonia.
And
Yes.
for people who have never been in Spain or Macedonia, what is like those two places?
Oh, that is totally different story. Like first, Europe is totally different. Yeah, different atmosphere and different energy and different way of living, culture, mentality, and subconscious mind. I think a little bit. So Spain is Mediterranean, which means it's a lot of kind of, I will say, fluent energy. A lot of people are really caring of the well-being of life. They're not just concentrated on the material things, which is working and making money and all of this to be sustainable. But they also have the other part, which is quite hedonistic, and they just enjoy life. And I do consider that they know how to make the balance. So of course, Spain is big, but most of it is connected with, yeah, a lot of nature. Also, Mallorca was a lot of beaches. Also in Mallorca you can find beautiful villages, and also there is mountains. So Mallorca has everything. That's also another island which could be like quite popular with tourists, but still conserving the beauty of
Mhm.
of the nature itself and the island. So I don't know how, but my journey keeps going to islands, and I do feel that I would love to stay in Ireland. So I do consider that the water is just changing and transforming my own life. So that's why I just felt that I would like to be in a land that it's kind of surrounded by water. And Macedonia is a country where it's a quite small country. It was part of ex-Yugoslavia, so right now it's independent. And actually, it's a beautiful country with a lot of um, nature, a really good food, and a lot of seeds of people that have many talents. But still, it's kind of, as it's small, sometimes has difficulty on their like developing economic or maybe even political. So people have a little bit uncertain life over there. So even though they have this as a own karma of the country, which was a lot of, let's say, conflicts or sometimes even pain, even suffering, but people still conserve their beauty in many ways. There are a lot of hospitality. You can find that people, you go over there and the villages they share, even they have the last bread with yourself. And yeah, there is just different kind of beauty in the Balkans in general, but yeah, in Macedonia.
Now, let's take a step back and let's travel in time to your younger days when you were growing up in Macedonia. How was the world like back then?
I did have a really beautiful childhood, so I do remember that maybe it was the last generation that we were just, after school or even before you start school or kindergarten, before you try to enter in this kind of community, social community or even system community like kindergarten or school, you still were really playful and joyful, just going on the street and meeting your friends, and with your friends doing a lot of games or just sitting over there. So I do remember that in my childhood we were spending a lot of time, let's say, in the street, having our own group and our small community and just inventing, being creative, or sometimes even staying over there and talking with the friends. So it was really nice because, yeah, if I can say by hours, it was the whole evening spending outside from 6 until 10 in the night, and also in the morning when the sun was not so hot. So we did have this principle of from 12 till 5 you cannot go outside because it was really hot. In Macedonia there was 4 strong seasons, so still, it was the last generation that we played without mobile phones. There was no mobile phones. Everything was so natural, so communicative, and yeah, just doing different kind, like a lot, thousands of different games. And sometimes I just was going so much out and was so much enjoying and exploring. Because sometimes you can even change area when you're bigger and you can go in the city. So that was like, wow, big thing. And sometimes I do remember my mother was saying, you spend the whole working time outside. So how can it be like 8 hours you're just outside? And yeah, I do remember that I was doing this when I was coming home, just not to be over the time that I needed to come. I was changing the clock of my mother and my father to not realize what time I came back, or just
Such
to
a
think,
mischievous woman.
just to think that it's like, I don't know, half an hour less or even 1 hour less and things like that. Until one day they realized, but I mean, it was okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Those are good memories. Now, from Macedonia, how did young Maya decide to go to Spain? And maybe we can actually switch to Spanish to discuss how was the journey.
Mm. So yeah, we can speak in Spanish or in English. So I do consider that en español.
En España, ¿no?
Considero que la gente nacemos en un cierto sitio, estamos pues creciendo con ciertas costumbres, con cierta cultura, mentalidad, que luego se te queda mucho en tu, diríamos, en la forma de ser, en qué valores son tus valores principales, en tu forma pues subconsciente de desarrollo y de crecimiento. Pero yo sí siento que hay una búsqueda, diríamos, más profunda de alma, de quién eres, y a eso te lleva la intuición. Entonces yo pues siempre he sido un poco cercana con el idioma español por las telenovelas.
Oh, okay.
Estaban bastante presentes en mi país. Entonces yo por viendo telenovelas, nunca me gustaba ver la tele, pero sí que en ciertas canciones, música y telenovelas, pues seguía viendo. Y yo aprendí el español por las telenovelas.
Okay.
Y luego al final, creo que tenía unos pues 13 años o 12 años, no recuerdo bien, me fui a un curso de una mujer peruana que estaba casada con un macedonio y daba un curso en una escuela de idiomas. Entonces empecé el curso con ella y como profundicé más en el español y en su forma de ser, ¿no? Entonces mi intuición me llamaba que sí, que es un idioma precioso de escuchar, que hay algo en la gente tan como cálido, tan caliente, tan friendly, que lo pueden ofrecer, y que simplemente luego me llevaba por intuición. Entonces la forma que ella hablaba, y recuerdo una vez que me fui de la clase y ella como me dijo, cuídate. Y yo esa palabra como eso me cambió un poco el aspecto a decir, eso me dio más confianza y calidad, y que digo, la gente pues así se saluda en sus países, como que están bastante en tema de eso, de abrazar, como del cuidar. Y luego lo dejé naturalmente, que fluía el viaje. Tenía que hacer la universidad, ¿no? Ahí pues después de la secundaria decidí dónde ir a la universidad, y yo me decidí por filología hispánica en la capital. Fue la primera cátedra abierta aquel año, creo que era 2012. Entonces me apunté a la universidad para aprender el español. De hecho, considero que todavía tengo un acento un poco de los lectores latinoamericanos, y un poco, sí, esa vibración. Estudié 4 años en Skopje, y mi intercambio de práctica pues era los veranos, ir tanto a otros países a aprender otro idioma, o en España a, diríamos, practicar. Esa fue mi parte pues de prácticas de la universidad, que vas, te puedes comunicar, puedes entender todo en español. Entonces me fui por primera vez a Tenerife, luego el mismo verano a Madrid, y ahí pues ya como que mi intuición me llamaba de que sí, me gustaría explorar más, tener otra visión, otro tipo de calidad de vida también, y decidí pues años más tarde mudarme a España, a Mallorca. Pero eso también fue totalmente casual, porque yo solicité para trabajo y no sabía dónde, y luego fue justo en Mallorca, y volví de nuevo en Mallorca. Y ahí luego como que fluye más tu camino. Tú pones la intención, pero no sabes si se va a realizar, y al final pues sí, se realizó.
Y es bastante singular el camino que tomaste porque de Tenerife vas a Madrid y de ahí nunca pudiste llegar a Mallorca sino en la segunda visita, en la que ya estabas de manera laboral ejerciendo. Cuando estabas ejerciendo en Mallorca, ¿había alguna diferencia entre los locales de España al ver que tú eras en Macedonia y dominabas el español?
Pues siempre cuando vas a un nuevo país estás más como bienvenido si sabes su idioma, por
Ujú.
supuesto. Y sí había una cierta, diríamos, aceptación o bienvenida. Pero también sí es cierto que en Mallorca hablan mallorquín,
Ok.
que es diferente del castellano.
Ujú.
Entonces el mallorquín yo todavía no lo hablo, lo entiendo, pero no llegué a aprenderlo. Así que sí, pues a veces le hablabas en castellano, pero lo seguían aceptando. Nunca tuve esos, diríamos, conflictos, pero claro, siento que como que le encaja, o sería mejor que un día si vuelvo ahí aprenda también el mallorquín, que es su idioma típico, un poco parecido al catalán, pero sí, si vuelvo un día pues me gustaría poder dedicar más tiempo a aprenderlo.
Y apuesto que el mallorquín es diferente al catalán, ¿verdad?
Sí, es un poco diferente.
Ah, porque es que me acuerdo que mucha gente en Latinoamérica cuando seguía al Fútbol Club Barcelona era que, ellos no hablan español, hablan catalán. ¿Pero
Mm.
por qué? Porque son de Cataluña. Y empezaron algunos a tomarle cierto interés desde ese ángulo. Y ahora que nos mencionas que mallorquín es diferente como otro idioma, despierta varias luces, diría yo. Ahora, una cosa es la vida en España y otra cosa es la vida en Macedonia.
Mm.
Comparando estas dos con lo que has encontrado por acá, son puntos de decisión. Háblanos de cómo tú tomaste estas decisiones.
Pues mira, ha sido todo el viaje en sí de la vida, donde yo consideraba, cuando me llevaba pues bastante, pues diríamos más identificada y apegada con la parte mental, pensaba que el próximo destino que yo voy a venir, ahí voy a encontrar la felicidad. Entonces yo tenía España un poco idealizada,
Mm.
pensando de que cuando voy a llegar ahí, pues sí, que ya está, como he realizado, he conquistado, esa ha sido diríamos, gran conquista, porque sí, luego después de tiempo, pues lo sentía como mi segunda casa, a no decir la primera. Entonces ya perdí aquel concepto de que yo necesito estar en cierto sitio para identificarme y sentirme bien. Y como después de años que pasas ahí, ya como no sientes tanto la nostalgia por Macedonia, porque sí que de mentalidad, pues son países totalmente diferentes de la parte del este de Europa y España, pero un poco de cultura y de temperamento, como están cerca del mar y Mediterráneo, hay muchas similitudes. Y así me sentí pues bastante como luego cómoda y encontrado, cuando llegaba al aeropuerto de Mallorca, pues encontrando mi casa y mi hogar. Así que pues ya no iba más, luego ahora que estoy en Asia ya totalmente me di cuenta que ya no importa tanto el sitio, importa cómo realmente te llevas tú contigo mismo, cómo estás y si has encontrado tu hogar, dónde está el corazón, y que el destino propio, o diríamos la destinación, es el propio viaje. Entonces no hay un cierto destino que vas a llegar donde vas a encontrar algo que no lo llevabas ya contigo. Entonces el destino es el viaje. pues ya estoy como apreciando mucho el viaje y no dónde voy a llegar, sino cómo se está realizando el propio viaje. Yo considero la vida como un viaje, siento que ahora estamos viajando y que pues hemos prestado unos ciertos años a estar vivos, bien agradecidos y conectados con la naturaleza, con nosotros mismos, y que en pocos años pues ya nos tocará vivir otra época y ya no estar en este plano terrenal. Entonces disfruto pues de la presencia más que nada, y por eso ya no distingo tanto y no comparo tanto entre países, pero sí que es cierto que algunos países pues tienen más calidad de vida que otros, es sistema diferente, simplemente un poco leyes diferentes, pero en todos los sitios que he estado es eso. En tema social pues hay dos clases diferentes, o en algunos también incluso la media, que son pues los pobres, los muy ricos y la clase media, pero todos en sí llevan la misma esencia de buscar pues más felicidad, más paz, más amor y menos dolor y sufrimiento. Entonces eso lo encuentras en cualquier país que vas, en cualquier religión que descubres, en cualquier modo de vivir, en sus comunidades, en Europa un poco más individual, pero eso ya es en todos los sitios, diríamos, de la Tierra.
Agradezco mucho ese análisis granular de cómo tú pusiste cómo la toma de decisiones te ha llevado a esta jornada particular. Let me switch to English because now we want to discuss about meditations. Because one thing is like, okay, we see people are doing, they're sitting doing nothing, but there is a lot of work when there are meditations. Can you tell us what actually goes through?
Well, I do have grasp only my piece, and I can talk just a little bit. Meditation is a big, big word. It's kind of a tool also at the same time, just to go with the view inside of you and see what's really happening over there, and how is your universe right now in this moment. So it's a kind of tool where you go inside of yourself and you do observe your inner world more and more, and you can dive deeper into it. The classical way, I think, it's sitting and walking meditation. So they do have this principle of how to do the right, let's say, sitting meditation, which you care about the posture, and you do, for example, in Buddhist meditation, you concentrate first on the breathing, which is called anapana, and then you also have the walking meditation. When you go really slowly, you feel every step by step that you're doing. You're just observing the sensations that they are happening in your body, coming from the five senses, and that's let's say the basic of meditation when you start. But also I realized after trying several techniques that every person needs to find their own technique, that it's really important yourself to be comfortable in the way that you meditate, and that it's really important to prepare yourself kind of before meditation, so you can have even small things that you want to do, like for example yoga feels really good for me before I sit to meditate, just removing the energy of the body and a little bit cleaning the energy canals that we do have. So yoga is really good for me before meditate. And I was following this strict or a little bit more strict practices and technique of meditation before I came to Indonesia. And also I had this resistance because before I was quite more a little bit isolated doing this practice, living in the traditional way, like maybe more in ashram or meditation centers. And then when I came in Indonesia, it was so open world and so again so much tourist, and it's everything about the five senses, how to make content and complete the five senses. And then I allowed myself and I realized that meditation actually it's everywhere. You just bring awareness wherever you do, and you come back to this awareness, and just your body can be moving, but still inside of you, you are still. So that's how you find your own way of meditation. So even at the beginning, it was, as I said, difficult to switch for me, and I was thinking that I need to follow the old way, the traditional way, as I was teach and makes, let's say, good benefit for me. I did find meditation in surfing. So surfing is a kind of meditation. For me, dancing is also meditation. It's just dissolving slowly the thoughts, and I'm coming to a state where really I'm connected with my center. Meditation could be also kind of the way you cook, the way you treat the food. Meditation could be playing with kids, just staying with their energy, being in the present totally, and being creative. So everyone needs to find their own way of meditation. It's for sure true that, let's say, if you are close to a teacher, and if you are more doing in a group session of meditation, it has different energy. And if you try to do this like the sitting or the walking meditation is kind of a good base or principle also to start, or maybe just to follow this kind of technique for meditation. So, but still we explore, we need to find our own way, and what brings that is bringing awareness to whatever you do in life, just as long as you're really connect with your center.
It's very pragmatic the way you separated not only the typical meditation but the other variants that people are unaware. I need to ask you about Maja the surfer. So how has been that practice going on?
It's just again a lot of connection with the water. Everything that is connected to the water is calling me, and it's a kind of bringing me to the meditation state and healing me. So it came surfing also naturally. I was before doing it one in Spain, in 2 islands in Spain, and then I tried again in Sri Lanka. But the best one was here. How it is? Oh, there are many things, and sometimes I do compare it with life. So you have to be pending of your position in the board. You have to be pending that the wave is coming. You have to be paying to put yourself in the right place, to prepare yourself in the right place to catch the wave. Also, you have to be pending that not crashing anyone in the front, even if you're a beginner or advanced. And you still have in all of this to have the strength of your body and your position to make the direction, and still you have to enjoy it a lot and be connected with yourself and the water, and just respect also the water natural laws that have a natural vibration of the water itself. So it's kind of the life. You have to be pending on everything, but still to enjoy it so much and connect with yourself and also with the environment around. In this case, it's water, which brings you a lot of wisdom, and water has memories. So for sure, it brings you to your natural state of waves of brain also. So surfing can be good to it, and also to make your own decision where to go, to put the direction. So it's kind of the life experience.
Now, to do surfing you need the table, right?
The board.
The board. Thank you for the correction. And I believe there is a lot of science and technology behind the boards. So how do you select the right board for the right surfing?
I'm not super expert on this. I just go to run the board, and they give you the board for beginning. I do for beginners. I do know that there is different kind of size of the board. So depending if you are a beginner or more advanced, you just choose what's your right board, and there are different kind of material board, and there is like many things into it. So I cannot talk much about it because I'm not familiar so much with the topic.
It's alright. Because people usually want to know, oh, we didn't know that was also another way to meditate.
Yeah, for sure it is. So everyone is finding their own way. And also meditation, I did set like separating these things, but actually it's all together. You start with certain technique or base to bring you how you can meditate in everything that you do in life, and how you can be more aware and connect. And I do recommend myself and also to people just to start every meditation from the beginning. It's kind of a celebration with yourself where you do have your practice, you do have your experience, or you do have your certain methods that work, but start every meditation as a beginner. You never know what will happen, and might this meditation surprise you a lot and just experience deeper and deeper connection.
Now that you put this holistically, there was another part in the discussion that also caught my attention, that dancing is also considered meditation.
For my body and my expression, yeah, it is. So there are millions also ways of dancing. We do see also this with you, and you're also a dancer. So dance brings to express your body, but also it's coming from myself because I'm totally intuitive dancing. I did try several different types, but then I'm doing my own creation of dancing. So it's intuitive and it's coming through creation. It's coming to every moment that you see around, like even these leaves or the trees are doing for me already starting to be a communication of certain dance. And I do consider your dance even more expanded and more expressive when you do have the dance inside of you. So when you start to go deeper and really transform your inner world, or you accept your inner world, and you start to dance with, as I said before, light and shadow, as long as we are in this like dualistic world inside of ourselves, you start to dance with that, and that's also expressive in the dance. So sometimes the dance could be quite more powerful, or let's say more expressive and quite more dynamic, and then could be quite more light and just beauty and just a lot of like subtle movements. And dancing for me it is a meditation.
It's very relevant that you are making this distinction, because some people may even be unaware of what is going on that regard. Now, we discussed meditations as a tool that has so many upsides. Some people that may be self-aware will say, wait a second, there may be some limitations of meditations. Are there any of those, and how can we be aware of those?
Limitation of meditation, you think your own obstacles when you meditate, or how do you think by limitation?
Like if meditation has so many upsides, there might be some downsides. So which are the thing that you realize that, wait a second, this is something that can fill the gap better?
Downsides of meditation. Downsides of meditation is not the tool that brings you the downside, it brings you what's inside of you. So as more as you meditate and you observe yourself, sometimes you do realize that, wow, there is so much of this inner world that I didn't know, and sometimes I don't want to see it. I don't want to face. Not everyone wants to see the dark side, and not everyone wants to see that it's so much attachment of ourselves to the thoughts. So the thoughts and the mind create our reality, which is still not real. We just live in our perception of way of living. So for sure, right now, if we see both of us the same objects with the flower, you might see it with different eyes, and you might describe it in different words, and I can describe it in different ones. So the downsides are always what you bring inside of your soul. The meditation itself is a method. It's like ancient, and it will exist. It was existing many years, and it will exist many after. But what is the downside? I think it's the inner self and how you bring your consistent discipline every day and how you really want to connect. And also it's a kind of need when you start to meditate. You just, after it, organically need it, and you just want to stay and be still and be connected with yourself, or sometimes even observe the thoughts and see, as you said, the gaps between the thoughts, to realize that that's everything about the movie that you're creating. There are gaps, so it means that there is something between these thoughts. It's not everything my reality that I'm creating with my mind.
Yeah, that's very self-aware and also complete the answer to fill all those gaps. Now, given that we are talking all of this in the present, some people may say, wait a second, what is Maja actually building towards the future? So what is next?
Something that you said, by filling the gaps, I do consider that in meditation it's not filling the gaps, it's just observing the gaps between the thoughts. And this kind of gap or emptiness, it actually brings you to what is slowly purifying your mind and slowly connection of realization of the true self. And also here I think it matters before you go deeper in yourself, just to try to find your own way of purifying the mind. So meditation is one of the parts, just to see how much you have inside and how much needs to be purified. And also we bring a lot of big storage of, as I mentioned before, like mentality, culture, family, education, growing up, even our own traumas, our own way of living that was before. So once you start, you really realize that you can build your own reality and that actually you're the creator building all of this. Just it makes courage and really decision to make the first step and then slowly go step by step, because we can always be attached of the world that give us pleasure by the senses. As I mentioned before, you go to the same to the next goal, you accomplish that, and the mind always asks for more and more. So it's the same with the pleasure. There are pleasure that you like it and they're pleasant and you're craving for them. Could be material, could be just like different type of pleasures, and other one that you don't want, and you kind of refuse it and bring some aversion to it. So that's the both, let's say, senses or sensation that you're playing with aversion or with craving. But then you go like, when you start to go like deeper in yourself, you realize that there is something more, there is something beyond that. So everything that I was experiencing, and I was accomplishing my task, and I was accomplishing my goals, and I was having really like fast way of living and a little bit hurrying every time and just going from one race. I call them race. I was running the race, the marathon, and I even couldn't stop because I finished. Not even any congratulations to myself or spend time with the people that wanted to congratulate. I just followed the next race. I was preparing for the next race. So I think you asked me, how did I what was the second part of the question, sorry?
What are you building?
The future. Yeah, so it comes spontaneously, the answer that actually after this realization that even I accomplished everything in my past, my life was organized for 1.5 years in the future, and I did made every task check, still there was something missing. I mean, I was fulfilled with the tasks that I do, with the goals, with the achievement, with the conquest. I do consider myself as a like warrior going to conquest and his own challenges, or even the world challenges or whatever. And then at one point everything crashed and everything changed the perception that I'm seeing, changed the way that, okay, I can be doing this for the whole life, but what's the purpose? What's the essence? What's the deeper meaning of life, and what's the deeper meaning of my mission being here? Because as I said, you can have this fulfillment and you have it, but it's not lasting, it's so impermanent. So you cannot build your happiness in impermanence, and everything is impermanent, the nature is impermanent. The way you move through the thoughts as achievement, it's also impermanent. It can give you this kind of fulfillment or achievement or even small happiness, but it's not the real long-lasting happiness. So my truth is going towards bringing small pieces of grasping small pieces of consciousness in my day, in every day. We still depend on this physical time. Sometimes you go beyond space and time and you realize that time is just physical thing, that we use it as long as the mind exists. But still, on every day when I start on the day, I just put the intention to bring more awareness and more consciousness. and just more understanding deeper of my energy connected with all of the beings around, and also a lot inspiration from the nature. So yeah, I'm going in the future closer to the nature, to understand nature to be my master, to be more coherent with what is my, let's say, thoughts and emotion and action, by being present and aware and more conscious. So I'm kind of making my own journey of plans of the future, but I also let the universe and the life and divine to invite me. So that's my balance. So, but for sure I'm moving and grasping a little bit more of myself, of the spiritual practice, and also of the truth in self. So yeah, it was really funny, this question, because yesterday we needed to make like a list of desires and to separate them in 5 different forms. And it was so long, the list. I mean, I had so many, let's say, dreams and desires for the future, but not as before. These desires are quite coming more with the connection that I already have within, with myself, and also with the nature. So I do believe that, I would love to be just more connected with the divine, with the universe, with everything that are being protecting me also in the way, and serving more, receiving more from the universe, and then serve to the people in the way that will be the best suitable for me. So I'm still kind of concreting what's my real dawn and my mission to bring to the world itself, but at the same time just keep being aware and taking care of my holy secret space that I already create in myself. Everything what is within, as more as you dive inside, then how you reflect to other people. If you cannot find this realization inside of you, of love, of peace, of deeper connection, compassion, and realization, then you cannot actually transmit, and you cannot propose, and you cannot share and serve to the people. So that's my inspiration, just going more deeper connected with what we are already, which is we are coming back to where we come, when we were from, let's say. That was the source, and a little bit also the inner child, but the inner child not completely as aware being, and the inner child with their innocence, with the way that he or she was acting without any judgments. She was like reflecting, in my case, her own world, her own creation, her own expression, inspiration. There was so much going on, but after it, by many like obstacles, or maybe just putting limits, more and more limits, you do realize that the creativity is going down, that your expression is going down. So now I'm trying to rebuild and reawaken that part, also the inner child. And yeah, just being more aware of not making also violence to myself, to the being around, and living in identification and balance with my values. So that's also the future, how I'm growing up. And just counting more the moments of just being with nothing to perform, nothing to achieve. So that's why sometimes I'm so curious to put the goals in the future and to really put my destination, where it's going. But sometimes I'm so tranquil and I'm so like calm, believing that the universe also has already a plan for me, and I'm trying to respect that and just be fluent on it. So yeah, I can say that actually we don't know what will happen tomorrow. It's good to put the best intention on it, and just to grasp every dream that you have from the present, not coming back to the past or to the future, just grasping what you're really motivating you and want to realize or build in the future, but just to come from the present moment, from your true self, from your being. So just you keep doing, but from the place what you are, from the being place. So that's why sometimes I'm not even so much building and concerned, let's say, about the future, but for sure with every small pieces of today, it's making the better version of person for you tomorrow.
That has been such a quite exhaustive and illustrative answer. Given that you mentioned in this part something that catches the attention of the people, especially the young people, there will be some young Mayas watching this. So what piece of advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, if I need to come back and give advice to my younger self, first it will be a lot paying attention on the emotional intelligence. Just find whatever is the best for you to find a master teaching or even retreat or camping when people talk about emotional intelligence. Allow yourself the emotion to be fluent. We pass through a lot of education, a lot of books, but people never talk about emotional intelligence and how to deal with. They can teach you everything, how you need to perform, how you need to be, how you need to be responsible for after starting work and earning money, but they will never teach you how to deal with life. Life is a book that you have to read it. So how to deal with big storms are coming, how to deal when you sometimes lose someone, and how to deal when you face with death with some closer person or even a friend, or it could be everyone that really means to you, that you really love him or her. So that's the first thing. And also to just allow yourself to come back to your real nature, not to listen what needs to be performed from your maybe parents, from your even the whole family, the education system, the system itself, or even your own ego sometimes is pushing you and saying you have to become this. Like, you're already that. If you come back to your real soul and source, you're already that. Just use your maximal potential to connect with yourself, to see what's the gravity over there and what's the creation inside of you. Where do you really want to go, and what's the real mission and purpose of your soul? Why do you become here and now? And what do you want to spread or to share or to serve to people? Because at the end of the point, we all kind of, again, serve. We think it's to society, but actually it's to people, to the humanity, to bring more growing and awareness and just a little bit of more connection with the higher consciousness. And also what I would recommend to the young people, to the youth people, just to experience a lot of connection more with the nature, spend more time in the nature, learning how the plants are working, how you need to plant a seed and then this seed become a big plant or a fruit, and also how to live in nature, how are the principles of the nature, because everything that is here around the nature is also in ourselves. And just try to be more connect with people that inspire you. You feel this energy when you go to people and they just inspire you, that they talk and they have the shiny in their eyes. So I do remember when I was young, I saw one woman, she was in the mountain going, and she had her own way of living, right? She has kids, she has a lot of responsibility, she was having her own business, she was having the family, still going to the mountain and really doing sport and kind of, being successful, but she has a spark in the eyes. She has this shine in the eyes. And she was 40. I was thinking, so it's still possible if you live the way you're meant to be, like a fish in the water, because every time that we are not in coherence with the purpose, it feels like the fish is outside of the water, so it could not survive. So try to find your own water. Try to find your own way of living, which is suitable more for you, And sometimes allow yourself this 1 year, could be sabbatic, or 1 year just going working in many places that they offer, like with better system, like many people go to Australia and doing this work and holiday, or just being in Europe, or being everywhere that you are. Just find 1 year for yourself, volunteering or even working, serving on the other way, and see how many people, many culture can really teach you, and just go out from your comfort zone. I mean, still there are people that they're in the comfort zone where they were born, and they perform what they want, and still they can be growing. But it's sure for the mind some let's say challenge when you go out of your comfort zone, when you have to live by your own, when you really have to take care of yourself. The only person that you consider and really need to be friendly and connected with, because that's the only person you can count on, it's yourself. So that's the best thing that can happen to you. At the beginning it's difficult, there is some nostalgic and attachment first with your family, with your friends, with the people that support you, but then you support yourself, and you're the only one making your own creation and your own life and your own expansion. And you try to build your own world, even you keep living in this, let's say, all of the terrenal world that we have, and just find your place. Your home is when the heart is, so find where is your home. And yeah, just be brave, don't have fear, and don't make decision on fear. Never make a decision on fear. Wait for your time, wait for your perfect time. Everything will come as a puzzle, and you will see it after when you come back in the, let's say, in the past, to see why did I make this decision, the same way you asked me, why did you make this, how did you come? So now when I see, even there was sometimes a lot of doubts, or might be coming pain, or even sadness, it was the right and the perfect way for me, how it works. And yeah, also be respectful with yourself, making no violence, don't push, don't be hard with yourself and also with other people. Respect all of the beings that coming in your life and going out from your life, because everyone is a master and is a teacher. And do respect your inner teacher inside of you. Every time there will be some intuition telling you where you need to go. Follow that and just, yeah, kind of bold ahead to the inner teacher, and also be more connected with the sun, with the moon, with all of these seasons that they are changing, with the natural way of living, with the astrology maybe, universe, and whatever it might help to you. And just keep doing what you really want, what you really makes you content, what makes you go beyond time and space, and you're just being yourself.
Maya, I cannot find a better way to close this interview. How can people find you?
Oh, I don't have any social media, so I think everything happened in presence and right now. I mean, I don't have Instagram. I have Facebook, but it's not activated.
What about LinkedIn?
I do have, but it wasn't actualized like 2 years. So I'll find my way and maybe inform you more about this. But yeah, I'm just kind of bringing more connection with the social media, but still I'm not so much open to it. I don't. It's quite useful, but I don't have still my way of expressing through the social media.
It's
So
alright.
as soon as I have, maybe I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm so happy to share this, and it's like one-time opportunity, because this moment will never repeat again, and I'm truly appreciating that. And if this can, like, I don't know, inspire and help just a little bit to the people, I'm already content with it. And yeah, grasping the small changes that bring you to your path of just being more aware who you are, because we are already that, and sometimes took so much time, and the mind can present so much difficulty as it's a reaching top of mountain, but actually it's not. It's just being with nothing to gain, nothing to perform, just allow yourself to be.
Maya, I really appreciate all this time, and thank you once again for sharing all of this. And for people out there, please stay safe and see you when I see you. Bye.
Namaste, thank you so much.